interpersonal relationships is one of the challenges or communication you help clients with. And how about in the cases of everybody working virtually or in a hybrid virtual and person environment? You can't walk into the room with someone in person. What are the approaches or tips do you kind of suggest your clients, your leaders to do to kind of cultivate the good interpersonal relationships and handle feedback or give feedback in this kind of situation?
Yeah, it's actually more challenging in the virtual world, and yet even before the pandemic, many global companies, you know, that I've worked with have already had issues. Like my team is scattered around the world, and how do I do this? And I actually believe the very same practices are useful whether you're on the phone or you're in a video call, and you can Google and find out, well, how can I have better lighting and how can I show up better and make sure my sound is good? I mean, you know, so there's the technology side of that. That would not be what I would work with. However, my presence, am I looking into your eyes through the camera? If I'm agitated in my survival brain, I promise you can feel it. And right now I feel calm and not scattered and clear and present. And my guess is you can feel that. And so with the pandemic, I used to do a lot of in-person coaching with my executive clients. And that was my preference. That's how I was trained. I didn't do much phone or video coaching in between, you know, but I would travel to my client and meet in person. I've been amazed how much is possible on video. And so it's opened a new world for me. It's like I've discovered my clients can get help on a video coaching call. You know, even an audio call sometimes is more effective for me because I'm not distracted by any of the video, and I actually can really tune in even to a greater degree with what my client is saying and how they're saying it and the underlying energy of it. And it is sort of like my questions can come from there, and sometimes more effectively than if I'm on a Zoom call. So we work on applying the very same things that I would do in person with you, however, on the phone or over Zoom.
Yeah.
Pausing, noticing if I'm triggered, making sure I get myself back before I respond. I can do that on a video call. Right? Just as well as I can in person.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like applying some of the similar principles and practices to make sure we're centered ourselves and have the energy level and in being in a great mindset that things will come across even virtually as well.
Right. And how is what I'm doing and saying affecting the other person?
Right.
And so on a video call, if I see you, I get some clues. And you know, on a phone call, I don't see you. However, if I'm paying attention, I'm really present, not distracted. Pause, inquire. So how we share how what I've said so far is impacting you. Right. It is a question I can ask if I'm not sure. Or I can say, well, it seemed like your facial expression changed. I noticed your shoulders going up, but you know, maybe we could stop for a minute and check in. Right. It's that same thing I would do in person.
Yeah, it's very true. That kind of paying attention on the other person and ask questions, a pause to listen and checking in with how the other person is feeling and thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very good principles kind of
Mhm.
that we can all learn in in our interactions with other people.
Yeah. And it's so common, whether video or not, where people
Mhm.
will be imagining what someone else is thinking. I'm kind of like, so you have mind reading skills I'm not aware of, right? Well, it seems like, and they're angry. And I go, well, how would you know? How could you know what's really going on for that person? And it's like eventually someone will, I could ask them. You could ask them,
Mhm.
right? Oh, I could ask them how how they're feeling, or how something impacted them, or what they want. So we do, as humans, make up lots of stories and think that's the truth, when actually it's a story, and that's how we make sense of things. But being able to discern when it's my story about something versus it's actually the facts and data that anyone looking at a video of that situation would be able to describe it that way.
Mhm.
That's often not what we're talking about. We're talking about our own spin on things. So I often work with clients like, do you know whether it's your own spin or the actual truth of what's happening? And if is there more information that would be useful to you, and how would you get that information?
Mm,
Because so often our stress comes from the story we're making up about something.
that's
Right?
very true. Yeah, kind of
Mhm. Yeah.
um, not assuming other people's attention or
Yes.
intention, and then checking to see
Yeah.
what the other
Yeah.
person actually.
Yeah, exactly. Because intention and impact are both private. So action is public. And so if there's a disconnect between what I intend and how it impacts you, the only way we can close that gap is if we inquire, right? Or if I share, well, this was my intention. Is that how it landed?